How's it going, everybody? Jerome here, back bringing you guys another video. I wasn't expecting to make this video, but now that I made 3 videos, not even heavily edited videos, just videos nonetheless, I figured, why not? And to be honest, it's just like, oh, wow, I kind of like it still. I kind of like making videos still. Even though it's like the lowest effort, I still kind of enjoy it. But anyways, a lot has been going on. It is 1 in the morning. Ed Boon has revealed, not really, but he's doing a countdown for, you know, the next Mortal Kombat game. Sylvie got released for KOF 15. Street Fighter 6 is finally having an open beta very, very soon. And Tiamat was also released in Fate Grand Order mobile, thank God. But today I wanted to make this video talking about the modern and classic controller argument? Question mark? For some reason, I swear to God, I thought this conversation or topic, yeah, topic is the right word, was gonna die. It should have died. And I don't understand why it didn't. It should have just been, okay, modern controls and classic controls, okay, that's cool, shoved away. But people are still talking about it for whatever reason. So I figured I might as well do my 2 cents in. So my 14 video, my reaction to 6.4 won't be the last thing y'all see, right? But it's still gonna be there. So if you guys are interested in Final Fantasy 14, we did a reaction towards 6.4, a lot of the changes, and we are kind of hiring people to join our little guild, our little posse. So if y'all want to watch it, there you go. But anyways, back to Street Fighter 6. Modern controls and classic. So I want to state this first. I am happy that both options are in the game for different players. It's like having like a PC and a laptop. Yeah, people have different workflows at the end of the day, right? But I'm happy nonetheless that the options are there. There's a lot of people online that are expressing themselves that this will be the very first Street Fighter game, along with being their very first fighting game. So not only do they have modern controls to appease to that freaking audience, but they have that single player content where you can just do whatever the hell you want, right? And do that little story mode and then engage with other NPCs and freaking go under the tutelage of other, you know, other characters. And then guess what? They still play modern controls. And that's awesome. And then even then, right, if they go in the online space and they don't want to fight online, they could just, it's a lobby now. Lobbies are, they're making, they never left, but it's becoming more and more a thing. So you go into the lobby, you chat it up with people, and then you duke it out with people as well in there, right? And people can watch. And then if you don't even want to do that and you just want to play like the old classic arcade games, there's that section of the game for you. I'm getting off track. At the end of the day, I'm happy that this option does exist. It's bringing in a new wave of players for not just Street Fighter, but just in fighting games in general. And I think Tekken 8 is also doing that because it's freaking Tekken 8. Like, Tekken has been just growing more and more and more as time goes on. It's such a weird thing, but it's really cool. Now let's get down to the meat of this topic. I kind of got points to point out for the video, but we'll see how things go. The first thing is the reward aspect of modern and classic controls. That feeling of being rewarded. I'm gonna go classic controls because I'm a boomer. I actually really do enjoy breaking my fingers and trying to make combos and executing, you know, a combo that I had trouble with, you know, in the training mode, and then doing it online, finally against an actual individual. I love that feeling of being rewarded, and I think that also goes for a lot of people in general in fighting games, right? So you got the electrics inside of Tekken. That is extremely hard to do, but when you do it, it's fun. And when you just do combos in general with Tekken, yes, it's fairly easy, but it still requires, you know, that execution. But when you do get it, it's so rewarding. It's so fun. And as much as people would be like, oh, it don't mean anything, that's complete BS, because yes, they do feel something. they feel like a sense of relief, and it's just like, holy crap, I finally did it. That means I could do this against people even more and more and more, and possibly, you know, level themselves up. Feeling rewarded for doing crazy stuff is a thing for sure. KOF is definitely one of them, and I think the biggest one too is probably Virtual Fighter 5 with the resurrection of that game, dude. People are having a grand old time. Sadly, no rollback, but people are having a grand old time relearning that game and doing these crazy things again. It's so sick. It's really, really cool. So feeling rewarded for things that are really hard to do, awesome. I love it. Now, going to the mono control aspect for that little predicament is a little weird, and I think it really does vary, because there are some people for sure that don't care about feeling rewarded. They just want the dub. They want that win, and that's all that matters. Is that wrong? Hell no. But it is a thing. But this is where I also bring up another fighting game that was full on mono controls, and it's Battle for the Grid, Power Rangers. Obviously, Power Rangers fighting game, holy hell, that's amazing. It was a blessing. We finally get to have these Rangers from literally different genres from different seasons, and they're finally duking it out. That is one of the sickest things we could have asked for. And it was with modern controls. Now, at that time, did people give a shit about modern controls? Hell no. People didn't care. People did not care, because it was just the game that we wanted. It was a Power Rangers fighting game, and that's all that mattered. So in the beginning of that game's life, it was fun. People were enjoying it. People were discovering what to do, making scenarios, doing one-touch deaths. You know, the usual when a fighting game does release. And I had my grand time too with that freaking fighting game as well. Time moved on, and a lot of people got really bored with it, dropped off, and that also includes me. Doing those combos that I literally practiced, right? And I got bored of doing them. But that just goes to show that I just want to work harder for my reward. Now, you could obviously say, or argue, right, that you're doing the same exact things as well with the classic controls. But again, it's that reward feeling that's kind of different. So doing combos with modern controls isn't a problem. It's just that it gets a little stale later on in life. And in all honesty, I think that also brings up like Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus is going to be making its name a lot in this video, but in terms of doing combos, it just felt the same, dude. It's so sad. Again, I wanted to love the game, but there's things that I just was off-put by it. So, like, even the auto combo, there was no difference of doing light, medium, heavy when you could just mash square and just do the same thing. 3 attacks into special, into a big combo maybe, or maybe into a hard knockdown equaling going to an Oki, right? The outcome of those situations are different, but doing those combos, it was all the same, and it was boring in my eyes, right? There was not that much of a difference. That's my thought process on the whole ordeal, is the reward aspect. There is definitely going to be an issue with that, and I do believe in the long run where people are going to get bored of Street Fighter 6 because of the modern controls, and they may dip their toes into the pool to try and learn classic controls, and I'm all for that. Now let's just talk about modern controls in general. In short, it's fairly easy to do certain moves. I think that's probably a dead giveaway. I think anybody with the brain can agree to that. It's way easier to do moves than doing the actual input. But here's the thing. Charge characters are probably going to be the biggest ones affected in this scenario. And that's where people kind of have expressed their opinions about this situation. That modern controls are going to be, obviously, a little bit more stronger than classic controls in in probably the long run too. It's just the fact that you could do these combos, these character-specific combos with so much more ease thanks to the modern controls. Like, what if I wanted to do a Kikosho or Sonic Boom in the middle of a combo and still, you know, wanted to do other things? It's so much more easier to do that without worrying, oh my god, did I hold down this button too long? I hope it sure as hell comes out. Oh no, my Sonic Boom didn't come out. Crap, my block stun got completely destroyed. And then now put in the mono controls. Button, Sonic Boom. Easy. There's nothing in between. It's just you do it or you don't. It's very, very powerful, dude. It's like going back to Street Fighter 4 on the freaking 3DS, where you could walk up Sonic Boom or Kikosho with Chun. And it was insane. Sonic Boom or even Flash Kick. Dude, what if, you know, Guile walking up to me doing a freaking Flash Kick? That's horrifying. This, without a doubt, is going to be a very, very, very strong tool for both veteran players and beginner players. And people, again, have expressed their feelings on this, and I could understand why, right? There's also a lot of pro players that are expressing that, dude, why am I going to work this hard? Why am I going to do all this crap when I could just go to modern control and you know, not worry about not dropping combos? I don't even know if I mentioned this, but I think Granblue Fantasy Versus also just did this situation a lot better. At the end of the day, even though the combos were the same, let's just say you're Catalina, and you do her projectile. The difference between modern and classic within Granblue Fantasy Versus is that, one, it's there even in the game itself, in the match. You could either do it or you don't. When you do a motion input for your fireball, you know, 236, fireball, whatever, Catalina's projectile, that move does recharge a lot faster. Remember, that was the gimmick in Granblue Fantasy Versus, because, you know, recharging was a thing, or is a thing, in the mobile game, so they implemented it for their specials. So yes, when you're at full screen and you're fighting against a Catalina and she's just tossing out those projectiles, it's very beneficial for that skill to come back as fast as it can, because when they block it, you can do it again, applying and continuing that pressure. Classic controls in that game, where again, just a simple input in the button, the biggest difference is when you do that that input with the modern controls, that move won't come back for, you know, a little bit longer. You have to wait a little bit longer for your projectile to come back if you do the simple input. But Granblue, you know, this is where I think it excelled. Those options were still there, right? If people got bored, they could learn the input, and you could have, you know, that pressure that you would see with tournament play. It encouraged people to try and learn motion inputs, but it didn't affect the gameplay itself super hard, where it had to be forced down their throat. There's a lot of tournaments out there that had modern controls players going nuts, and it was cool. So I think Granblue Fantasy Versus absolutely did that extremely well. In Street Fighter 6, there's a bigger difference than just a simple time, dude. It's the fact that your extremely damaging combos are going to be coming out so much more, you know, faster and more efficient and more consistently than what you would do in classic controls. Yeah, it's super powerful. It's super powerful. Classic controls got nothing on it, in all honesty. The point about this, what I'm saying, is skill difference is going to be a massive thing. Granblue Fantasy Versus, it wasn't that big. It just, you know, the timing of your specials came back a little bit slower. Yes, it affected you in the long run, but not by much. You still could hold out your ground. In Street Fighter 6, however, it's just more deadly. And with the way that it's being built, it's not really encouraging players to learn the classic inputs, but at this time, I guess it's up to you. I would love it if players would still learn the classic inputs, because, you know, a lot of fighting games are still gonna, you know, implement those classic controls. But then with one of the biggest fighting games that's coming out, the League of Legends fighting games, is not gonna have it. And I think that's real shitty. I think that's real shitty. With Street Fighter 6 and even possibly Tekken, right? Even Under Night has auto combos and stuff like that. I would like future fighting games to just have both options. Now, when Battle for the Grid occurred, it did have that simple option, but at that time we didn't care. It was just like whatever. But now, or at least I didn't care, but now I would love it to have both options. Going back to the freaking League of Legends fighters, I honestly don't understand why they would showcase them playing classic arcade games like Third Strike when all of a sudden, ayo, it's only freaking, you know, directional inputs only. No classic. And it's just like, but why? But why? That's my only gripe. It didn't make any sense. Am I still going to play it? Absolutely. But I just hate how they were showing that and then they were like, hey, yo, those motion inputs, they don't exist in this game. Whatever. But I think that's my take on this topic nonetheless. Am I angry that it exists? No. But I can absolutely acknowledge the fact that classic controls are probably the worst thing to do when modern controls is right there and making things a lot more easier for everybody. At the end of the day, it really just now comes down to player experience, dude. With modern controls being the way it is, it's not a disadvantage. You gotta do certain combinations to get like crouching medium or crouching heavy. So it's not fully a disadvantage. And that's scary. But anyways, tell me what you guys think down below. I don't think I'm going to be recording any Street Fighter 6 footage unless I really want to, but that's just going to take time. I might as well just post something out from my old freaking storage unit and just use it as my footage. But yeah, thank you guys very much for tuning in. Thank you guys very much for watching, liking, subscribing, maybe. If you guys want to check out my other videos, then please, by all means. I don't know if I'm going to be making another quick video after this because there's nothing to cover unless you guys want me to cover something. If you guys want me to cover something, just let me know down in the comments below or even tweet me at Twitter. And I will see you guys within the next video.